All systems go. Clear for liftoff.
Good morning and welcome to this weekend's NASCAR Quick Hit here for Ship It Nation. I am Eric, also known as TheGame on Discord, and this morning we will be discussing the Eero 400 taking place at good old Chicagoland Speedway. But before we go ahead and break down tonight's slate, let me first mention happy birthday, America. That's right. Happy birthday, America. America 250, 4th of July weekend. Happy birthday. Hopefully, everybody is having a safe and fun 4th of July weekend. I had a fantastic yesterday. Took a rare day off. I had one dirt racing show I did. And then other than that, I was off for the day, which I haven't done in a very long time on a Saturday. So that's why this video is coming out on Sunday morning as opposed to Saturday night. So anyway, Eero 400 at Chicagoland Speedway. But of course, before we deep dive that, let me mention us here at ShipItNation.com. Everything you need to have success with DFS for less. That's right. All sports partnered with the SaberSim Optimizer, projections and ownership, the Stone 2.0, slate plans, which I quite literally just got done finished writing for tonight's cup race, showdown projections and breakdowns, the best Discord community in the game today, education courses from Hoop Tambo and the boys, and brand new Slate Station. That's right. Slate Station has arrived and it's pretty fantastic. So once again, one-stop shopping is ShipItNation.com. If you have been living under a DFS rock, you can, of course, try us 5 days all access, only $19. So if you've never tried a DFS site like ours before, if you have been around the DFS block a time or two and trying to find a new content provider, $19, 5 days, and SaberSim access, plus Discord access. A lot of these websites do these trials and don't give you A, their optimizer, or B, their Discord. We give you both in our 5-day trial. So ShipItNation.com. PGA is in full swing. MMA is back next weekend with the McGregor fight. That will be fantastic. NASCAR every Sunday. And before you know it, college football and the NFL will be here. So sign up now, get locked in, ShipItNation.com, one-stop shopping. All right, let me switch back to this tab here. Once again, what's my spiel? I forgot my spiel. What's my spiel? The NASCAR Cup Series is making their long-awaited return to the Chicagoland Speedway for the July 4th weekend running of the Eero 400. Sidebar here, I wish we were at Daytona, and I wish this was called the Firecracker 400 and or the Pepsi 400, but I digress. There are 267 laps on deck for tonight's race, which equals out to roughly 186.9 Dominator points, and we do want to target those points, and we will want to target those points for the rest of the season, minus our super speedway slates, because we're done road course racing. Done. No more for the season. July 5th, no more road courses the rest of the year. Good old left turns that we know and love. Yes, love it. Anyway, as far as potential dominator goes, I'm recommending at least 2 potential dominators per lineup. Let's see here. Let me go ahead and fire up the Stone page here. The Eero. I don't even know what is Eero. I should have researched my sponsors before diving into this. I don't. It's not a. I don't know. 4th of July weekend. You think it'd be like super gung ho America themed, and instead we're rocking the Eero 400. Anyway, 186.9 Dominator points up for grabs. I'm recommending at least 2 Dominators per lineup. Tonight's race, 6 o'clock on TNT. Tonight's race, next week, and the following week are all Sunday night races. So I don't anticipate me always getting these videos out later on in Sunday mornings, but there is that buffer there with them being Sunday night races. Why are they Sunday night races? I'm assuming it's because it's the dead of summer and TNT wants something for Sunday nights. In my opinion, they all should be Saturday night races, but I don't make the schedule. I just make the content around the schedule. So anyway, Sunday night, TNT, 6 o'clock. This will be a quicker video this week. And I know I say that and I always go 30 minutes, but I'm not going to do a full field rundown this week. So that'll automatically take away like 27 minutes of the 30. This week, the Cup Series is returning to Chicagoland for the first time since 2019. For the Eero 400. Normally, this weekend was the Chicago Street Course weekend, but they have taken that away and did the Naval Base race a few weekends ago, and we're back at the Chicagoland Speedway for today's race, which should be a fantastic race. The last time, the next gen car has never been here, and the next gen car does race pretty well at these this style of 1.5 mile intermediate racetracks. So should be a good race today. The main things for you to know is that there was a tire test here at Chicagoland Speedway back in April. And in a NASCAR tire test, they only allow 1 driver per manufacturer to participate in said tire test. In that tire test for Toyota, Toyota's representative was Denny Hamlin, who is our pole sitter and who has been the fastest man in the Cup Series recently. Also participating in that test for Chevrolet was Kyle Larson, who is starting outside pole of Denny Hamlin. And Ford's representative in that tire test was Ryan Blaney, who is starting 14th, but was the fastest in long run practice. So they had the 3, I would say the 3 top drivers in the NASCAR Cup Series. There's probably some arguments can be made for someone else, for someone to be in and out of that list, but Hamlin, Larson, Blaney, top 3 easily, in my opinion. They had the top 3 drivers in the Cup Series do a whole day of tire testing at Chicago. So that means those drivers and those teams have more on track time than anybody else. So those 3 drivers would probably already be in your Dominator pool. They are in my Dominator pool, but I would consider those 3 drivers and those 3 teams to have a bit of a step ahead of the rest of the field today. Other things you need to know. Eric Jones, who is starting 22nd, is very likely to go to the rear of the field. Now, it is 11:14 in the morning when I am recording this video, and that has not been announced yet. But on practice on Friday, they reported that there was some damage underneath the car, and they were working on that car, and I am assuming those were unapproved adjustments. So that news hasn't broken yet. I'm making just an educated guess on that. I would assume Eric Jones will be starting at the rear of the field. Once that becomes official, if that becomes official, I will alert the Discord as normal. Next up, Michael McDowell. He had the no good, terrible, worstest, baddest Friday ever. His car failed inspection 3 times. Now, Kyle Larson's car failed inspection twice. And while he got a slap on the wrist, Michael McDowell, woo doggy, if your car fails 3 times and it passes on the 4th, you get beat down. Michael McDowell was not allowed to perform a qualifying lap. He had his crew chief, car chief, whatever chief, ejected from the speedway for the weekend. He was not allowed to pick his pit stall, and he will have to perform a pass-through penalty at the start of the race. Now, what's positive for us DFS players is, and I should probably scroll down here because I'm only showing him on the list. There we go. What's positive for us DFS players is he's being scored from 38th. So he's being scored from dead last. However, at the very beginning of the race, instead of putting the hammer down and attempting to pass cars right off the rack, he is cutting the hard left and going down pit road for his pass-through penalty. It is incredibly likely he will go a lap down very early on in the race tonight. However, I would anticipate a decent amount of drivers going a lap down throughout tonight's event because this is a high tire wear racetrack. They haven't raced here since 2019. It's bumpy. It's rough. I expect a slight bit of carnage and increased tire wear. So while he is starting at quite the deficit and will very, very likely go a lap down at the very beginning, assuming all goes well, he should be able to eventually work and claw his way through the field. Now, am I expecting a top 15, top 10 out of Mike Mack? No. Is a top 20 possible? Yes. He's just starting in a hole to do it. So if you play Mike Mack and you see him make that hard left right at the beginning of the race, don't say I didn't warn you, because I warned you here and I put it in the slate plan in bold letters. So you've been warned. You've been warned. Mike Mack, I still think he's a very good play. I don't think he's a cash lock by any stretch of the imagination, but assuming he is able to overcome those that big deficit at the beginning, he should be able to score some positive PD points for us. Now, on the flip side, I mentioned that Larson also failed inspection. Yes, Larson's car also failed inspection, but only twice on Friday, which led to him losing his pit stall choice and his car chief being ejected. Now, does that mean much for Larson? The car chief being thrown out? No, that's Hendrick Motorsports has those growing on trees, right? That doesn't matter too much for him. The pit stall kind of sucks because he's starting second, right? So he would have had a really, really good pit stall selection, but now, my foot is in my headphone cord, and I don't want to. Hey, we almost had the whole kit and caboodle come crashing down. Thankfully, we didn't. Anyway, the ejection of the car chief, crew chief, isn't going to impact Larson in the least. Hendrick Motorsports has them growing on trees out the wazoo. Pit stall selection sucks. He qualified second. He would have had a fantastic pit stall selection. I have to assume he will be in and around the front for the majority of the event today. So when he comes down pit road, he will likely always be at a little bit of a disadvantage because he will be pitting with the shitters. So they will be trying to come into their pit as he is trying to drive out of his pit. If it stays green flag, it shouldn't be too much of an issue, but pit road or pit stops like stage 2, stage 3 pit stops, stuff like that, caution pit stops, could get a little bit hairy. Other than that, not too much to talk about. Practice on Friday was one big long practice session due to weather. I wish that was due to it being like that all the time because it's awesome. It should always be that way. If you don't want to give us like a happy hour session, just call practice happy hour, make it 1 hour for everybody and be done with it because it was fantastic. No real surprises up front. Denny Larson on the pole. I would say probably the major surprise out of qualifying was Buescher and Keselowski, third, fourth. These cats don't qualify up front very rarely. Buescher is a 10th to 20th place car, starting car almost always, and then works his way up through the field. While Bad Brad, we know, is almost always in the 30s, right? And then we make him one of our preferred place differential plays and hope for the best, which sometimes it doesn't work out, sometimes it does. The fact that they have speed, had good practice speed, followed up by fast qualifying speeds, could be sneaky plays. Talking Ty Gibbs is 5th. Okay. C. Bell has the cast off his wrist. If you remember, he got injured and had a cast on his wrist. He did not race the entire Naval Springs Coronado race. He did race the entire last week at Sonoma with the cast on. He has the cast off, and he excels at this style of high tire wear, ripping around the top type of racetrack. So while he still has a wrist and wrist injury, his wrist wasn't cut off, for crying out loud. While he still has the wrist injury, the cast is off and it is healing. And today's race should no way, shape, or form be as difficult as a road course race would be. So I like Seabell today. Other than that, Briscoe, Wallace, Elliott, Byron. No surprises there. The Dinger qualifying in 11th. That's a shock. No, as I've said weeks now, no manufacturer support for Colleague. So you have to assume they've dumped everything into qualifying and that they will get the parachute out at the start of this race and drop back. But still, that's very surprising to see at 60. Only 6K. Bowman in 12th. I kind of think this is his last Cup season, so I don't expect too much from Bowman the Showman today. Not the greatest in practice, but he did pull out a decent qualifying run, so good for him. But I still think he'll probably have the parachute out. Reddick and Blaney. Reddick, fantastic at this style of racetrack. Has won 5 times already this year. Was fantastic in all forms of practice. And you can fit him and Denny in lineups together and not hate the afterwards. So Red Dog will probably get a lot of love today. Blaney Hocevar, Zane Smith, decent run for him. I probably have a good showing today for Zane. John Hunter Nemechek, Riley Herbst. Riley Herbst was fast. He had the fastest first lap practice lap on Friday, and then wasn't great anywhere on out. But that is still a good car. Ross Chastain struggled all season. Ryan Preece had some salty, spicy radio action. I believe it was from Friday. They made him, they meaning NASCAR, pronouns, pal, made him adjust the headrest in his car, which I haven't heard of anything like that in a while, where it was like NASCAR deemed it to be too wide or something, and they shrunk it and made it taller. I really didn't even know. Like, I kind of assumed for the longest time that portion was a standard NASCAR safety piece, and that the drivers really didn't have too much leeway there to begin with, but apparently not. And they again, meaning NASCAR, made Ryan Preece change it, and he was not too happy. Something like that could very well impact his race performance, because now he has to drive 400 miles with something he is not comfortable in. I don't know if NASCAR allowed him to go back to the way he had it originally. I doubt it, at least for this weekend. So that's something just to keep in your back of your mind. Ryan Preece is always a pool click for me. Really has excelled since going to RFK, but NASCAR kind of has made him uncomfortable with this new headrest deal. You can go look at Twitter. I'm sure if you Google Ryan Preece audio or Twitter search Ryan Preece audio, I'm sure it'll pop up. He was spicy. He was spicy about it. Connor Zilich, he's been the worst season on the planet Earth, so that's a no for me. Eric Jones, like I mentioned, he is probably going to rear, but that hasn't been confirmed yet. Cindric looked fantastic in practice. I'm assuming Blaney and Cindric's team work close together. Maybe Cindric has Blaney's literal setup in the car. Blaney had the better qualifying run, but Cindric was right there with him in speed. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., probably not. Austin Dillon, no. Suarez, yep. Give me some Suarez. Fast all year. Won the 600 via pit strategy, but still, me amigos been quick all year. Would not surprise me to see him in victory lane tonight. Ty Dillon, no. Corey Heim, yeah. No one expected him to win at Coronado a couple weeks back. Is this a road course? No, but the 23 XI Open car has been fast all season. He was fantastic in practice, and the fact that he's only 7,500, we got to take advantage of that while we have that price, because it's not going to be there for long. Todd Gilliland, if he land there, I wouldn't be mad, but he looked like dog water in practice. Shane Van Gisbergen, I'm okay taking a chance on. He looked really good in the 10-lap averages, and like almost everybody in the field took a 10-lap average. Plus, SVG really excels at saving tires on road courses. Really, really excels at doing that. This is a high tire wear racetrack, and SVG, in theory, should be very good at saving tires. Now, obviously, this is an oval versus the road course, and this is the first time SVG has been here. So, but pickings are slim down here at this end of the field. He has been improving on ovals this season. At some points, he's been like the best trackhouse car on ovals, right? Like, that's not even like a joke. So, if you need someone in that price range and you're looking for a PD play, I don't mind it. Take a shot. Joey Logano, slow. The Blaney team must not have given the setup notes to Logano's team, because it ain't there. It ain't there. I'm not willing to take the chance when he's burned us so many times in this position. On the other hand, would it surprise me to see them figure it out and win this thing today? It wouldn't, but we haven't seen that kind of performance from Logano all season. Like, normally he steals one, and it doesn't seem like he's going to steal one this year. So that's, I don't know, no for me. Noah Gregson, no. Custer, no. Barry, no. Austin Hill, no. God, I wish Kyle Busch was still with us. JJ Yaley, he's not even worth an orange, and I love JJ Yaley. I love him, but no for our DFS lineups. Cody Ware, no. And Mike Mack, like I said, he has quite the deficit to begin his day. Quite the deficit. But if he can overcome that big hole he has himself at the beginning of the race, he has 266 more laps to crawl himself out of it. And there should be other cars that go a lap down. And with the high tire wear possible, and with it being a Sunday night on a holiday weekend, who knows? You might just see some fireworks other than the sky, potentially on the track. So hopefully Mike Mack is able to work his way up through the field. All right. Hey, I like how I said this was going to be a quick video, and it was only 23 minutes, not 30 minutes. So I did it. All right. Hey, I'm going to go for a safety meeting after I hit this outro before the little boy and the wife wake up. Have a happy rest of the 4th of July weekend. Thank you so very much for tuning in, as always. And remember, let's ship it.